Hi, this is Brian with the Golden Valley Park and Recreation Department coming to you today from Golden Valley Home Rec. So as we're approaching spring and we're in the month of May, a lot of times we focus our energy as far as planting outside, but it's also a good time to look at what we have inside of our house. So I have this plant that's obviously overgrown. It's in this little pot, and today we're going to separate this plant. We're going to separate it into two plants. So I'm going to take a part of this plant and put it into this pot. It'll make the plant a lot healthier. They will both grow better and you'll have two plants. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is take this plant out of its current pot. And I'm gonna do that as I'm gonna kind of tap at the bottom of it and hopefully get it to come out. This can kind of be the tricky part here. Been in here for a couple years, I'm sure. Actually came out better than I thought. So once we pull that out like that, you can see it's quite big. And I'm gonna start to separate it. And you got this root ball down here, and I'm just gonna start to pull some of that apart and separate this plant. So I'm just pulling it apart. You can also take a knife if you want, or probably not a scissor. A knife might be good. And just kind of pull it apart and break up those roots. So I almost got it here. And also, if you noticed, I prefer to do this outside, but for the sake of doing this video, or for the purposes of doing this video, I decided to do it inside. And I put down some plastic on my table to help protect it and help to collect some of the dirt. So now I have it in two parts. So I'm going to take one of these parts and I'm going to put it in this pot. So once we're done with this, I'll show you how to plant this pot. So now that I have this plant separated into two plants, I'm going to take, at least for me, I'm going to take the larger version of the two and I'm going to put it into this pot. So what I like to do is I like to take some rocks. You can even put some old broken pots and put that stuff at the bottom. It helps with drainage. So you can see I'm just putting that in the bottom of the pot. This pot does not have any drainage holes in it, which is a plus for me because I'm going to be putting this plant in my house and I don't want to have any drainage holes, at least where I'm going to put it. So just kind of be mindful of that. So after you do that, then I'm going to start putting in some soil. I do have this gargantuan bag of new soil, but it's important to have new soil. And a lot of the soil that you can buy will have really good ingredients in it that will help to support the starting and the growth of your plant. So I will start to put some of that into my pot. So it'll look like that. So you can see the dirt starting to form in there. And then I will take my plant and then I'll start to place that in there, and then I'll start putting dirt around that plant. So once I'm done with that, I'll show you what's next. So as you can see, I've created somewhat of a mess here, but I'm doing a pretty good job of taking that plant that was had gotten too big for the pot and then bringing it into this other pot. So like I kind of talked about before, just taking those plant pieces, those roots, and then you're just going to put those in here with your gravel below it, and then you're just going to continually add dirt until it gets up to the top of your pot. And you kind of want to firmly press the dirt a little bit just to make sure that it's all in there kind of nice and tight. And as things kind of settle, you may notice that the soil level may be going down a little bit and you may have to replenish that in the next few days or so. But there you go. You get to plant. It's kind of hard to see with the other plant pieces around it, but a plant that's going to produce a little bit more. It's going to be much more healthy. It's going to have more room to grow and to expand. Sometimes when you do this transplanting thing too, you might get a root ball that's just really, really matted with roots. So you may need to take a knife or something to kind of cut those and break those up and it may seem like you're hurting the plant, but it's a good thing for them. So anyway, look at your plants in your house. Some of them, they need to be repotted. It's always kind of a good time to look at that in the spring. I would suggest doing it outside, but for the purposes of the video, I did it on the inside. Again, thank you for joining us today for this version of Home Wrecked, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.